If
The Muslims.
you agree with that? All right, guys, listen. Everybody stop. I don't use the word apartheid because nobody knows what it means. Very few people actually know what apartheid means, because if you actually know what apartheid is, you would know that Israel's an apartheid state, because it fits the definition of apartheid. People get upset because they don't know what the definition of apartheid is. If South Africa says you're an apartheid, bro. If you don't know what apartheid is a system of racial segregation. And the reason why people deny that Israel is an apartheid state is because they say that, Arabs have equal rights in Israel, which first of all is not really true. They face a lot of systematic discrimination. But even if you took that at face value, you have to look on the other side of the wall. On the other side of the wall, there's Palestinians who have no rights. And those Palestinians are under occupation by Israel, so by definition, Israel is supposed to be providing them rights. And if they're not, it's an apartheid state. The easiest way...
Palestinians are threatening the safety of Jewish people.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you. Okay, that's awesome. I'm so glad you came and sat in the front. Have you... This is like a gift. Are you spiritual? This is like a gift. This is amazing. Did you come here for the show to have this moment?
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. It was random.
Israel left Gaza.
Israel left... Okay, good, great. So let's go back to the joke I just did, right? Israel left Gaza in what year?
I don't know.
You don't know. Exactly. It was 2005.
Palestinians or the Gazans there voted for Hamas.
I'm getting upset because you're in the front row. You know what I mean? It's just like... It's
Look at me. I don't have the game. I'm not a Palestinian. I'm not a Jew. But
That's fine. That's fine. You just have to be a human being, right? You just have to be a human being. Right? Right? Yes. Arabs have walked away. So you identify as a Zionist, right?
No, I try to be neutral.
You're not trying too hard. Yeah. You disagree that Israel's an apartheid state. Okay, but...
I don't know what apartheid is.
You know what apartheid is. Okay, great. You just said you don't know what apartheid is, yet you interrupted me because you said that Israel is not an apartheid. So, oh, you didn't say that.
Palestinians are always threatening.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Ignorant, obviously ignorant, but nonetheless, here, October 7th. Guys. Relax. Trust me, this makes for a better show. We'll get to all those things you said in my bits, but here's the point. I was up here saying that Israel's an apartheid state, and you interrupted saying something that is irrelevant to the fact that Israel's an apartheid state, okay? If you want to build a wall for whatever reason, if you think it's for your safety concerns, that's fine, you build a wall, and you want to occupy the neighboring region, do that. It's illegal by international law, but if you do that, just know they're under your jurisdiction, and by law, because they're under your jurisdiction, it's an apartheid state, because they don't have rights. So, now you know that. Take that part home. We'll cover the rest in a minute, okay? Okay? For people who don't know what apartheid is, let me explain it to you. If I were to go visit my family in the West Bank, and we wanted to go to where my grandma was born and raised, inside Israel, she came from a city called Jaffa, we would have to cross through military checkpoints. Me, an American city, I'm the whole city. An American citizen would have to go through military checkpoints where literally machine guns above our head, like with surveillance, doing like humiliating things like strip searching us as we go, just to go inside and visit the family, which, obviously you would say is for reasons of safety, whatever. I have to go through that even as an American city. Even as an American city. I am the city of San Diego. Okay? But that's the point. Like, even if I took this whole city with me, we would have to go through the military checkpoints. And we're coming from the West Bank, which is under Israeli occupation. So it's under Israeli jurisdiction, but yet we don't have the same rights that Israeli citizens inside of Israel have. I would just want to go and visit the land that my grandma grew up on. And now I didn't grow up on it, yeah, but she grew up on it, and she's told me stories about it. And so I feel connected to it. It's a part tied to me. She got it. You got it. Okay. See, this is fun. Okay. I perform for people who agree with what I'm saying, and I perform for a lot of people who don't. I tour everywhere. I get a lot of heat for the things that I say, but most of it's online, so I feel safe. One guy DM'd me, he's like, Sammy, does your tour fund Hamas? And I was like, first of all, how did you know? Secondly, no, I'm not involved with the transferring of money to Hamas. That's more of Netanyahu's thing. People ask me questions about Hamas like I know them personally. Like I hit them up after the show. I'm like, yeah, boys, it went well. Yeah. They received the message. I'll call you later. I don't know Hamas. None of y'all ever seen a Hamas. Okay? They out there. You just can't see them. That's kind of their brand, you know? People ask me my opinion on, they want to know a Palestinian's opinion on Hamas. It's like, why do you care about opinions? Why don't you just ask what they are objectively? And I'll tell you that. Hamas is a resistance group from Palestine. One of many, many resistance groups from Palestine because Palestine has been under occupation for decades. And that leads to the formation of resistance groups. It's not unique to Palestine. It happens everywhere. But there's a reason why you know about Hamas. Because Hamas was chosen. It was Netanyahu's favorite. Netanyahu allowed cash infusions to flow into Hamas from Qatar in order to make the two-state solution impossible. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is soundbited on the internet. The Israeli regime under Netanyahu has this love-hate relationship with Hamas because it's their proposed enemy, but they built it up. And they even came up with a pet name for it. They call it Hamas for some reason. We don't know. Arabs, this perplexes us because we have the Kha sound too, but it's not in that word, so we don't know where it came from. They let this money flow into Hamas. They call it Hamas. So we're like, where'd the K come from? They paid for it, apparently. The problem is the mainstream media was able to push this narrative onto people like you and I, that the people of Gaza, for some reason, are complicit in what's going on, that for some reason they deserve what's happening to them because they, quote, like you said, they voted for Hamas. Let's unpack that statement. They voted for Hamas. All of them, even the babies, crawled out to the polls, scribbled in Hamas, got their little green lollipop and went home. Half of Gaza's population is under 18. Okay? So, because of a high birth rate, yes, this is partially true, because of a high birth rate. Also because refugees have been pushed out from other parts of the region into Gaza. That's why there's a lot of people there. But yes, the Gaza birth rate is high. Some people often say it's only one or the other. It's actually both. Palestinians be doing it. Survival. If you don't believe me, look up Gaza birth rate. It is high. They voted for Hamas. Half of the population is under 18, which is already a minority of people. You already know that less than 50% of them voted. So it's like extremely inhumane to say they voted for Hamas, this is what they want, when half of the population isn't even of voting age now, okay? Because did anybody look into that election? It was one election, and it was in 2006. Do you remember who you voted for in 2006? No, because it was a midterm year. Nobody gives a right? Nobody remembers who was on the ballot in 2006. And so let's unpack this trope even more, because if you look at the statistic, half of the population isn't even of voting age now, meaning like 75% of the population wasn't even voting age then. And then within that 25% of the population, 40% of the people who showed up to vote that day voted for Hamas. That's of the people who showed up. Let's say 80% of the voting population showed up. So that's 20% of the total population now, and 40%. What's 40% of 20%? Come on, you may not be on the side, you gotta be on the side of math, right? It's 8%. At most, 8% of the people living in Gaza voted for Hamas. So do you understand how f***ed up it is to say they voted for Hamas when literally it was just 8% who voted for Hamas? Right? Let's think about that. It's racist, right? Why is it? It's bad math, correctly. But I mean, yeah, like bad math usually leads to racism, right? Like think about racist tropes we have here in the United States. What's a racist trope? You want to give me one? You're good at them, so you want to give me one? And it's a comedy show. We're all very accepting. We know that you don't actually feel that way, but just give us one that we've heard before. Or who wants to give me one? Who wants to give me one?
Women of color are all on welfare.
To go out there and say that women of color are all on welfare, when if it was only 8% of them, still, a lot, I'm sure it's not that much, but that would be fucked up to say that. So, what's that? Who? Where are you from, by the way?
San Diego.
That's a lot to unpack. You know what I mean? Okay. You're from San Diego.
I think it's a mainstream.
That's fine. I identify as mainstream American too. Honestly, like I'm not like a full left or right. I
bet
like
you
to
are
see.
left.
What's that?
I bet you are left.
You bet I'm left? Why would you think that I'm left? I have 17 guns at home. Okay? That's not a threat. That's not a threat. That's not a threat. I didn't vote for Hamas, but I have 17 guns at home. That's funny. She's like, you look like a lib because you care. No, you don't know my views. I'm actually a very balanced perspective, but I do know facts and I do like math. So that dictates the things that I do say. And when I don't know shit about it, I shut the fuck up. Kind of a good rule to follow in general. But you now understand why saying that they voted for Hamas is messed up. You at least agree with that part now based on the math, or you still fit that?
All elections are based on who turns out, right? Every election
Yes,
is about
yes,
who-
perfect. This is exactly where I'm going to go next. Okay, so listen. Can you imagine being held accountable for somebody you voted for years ago? Let's think about this, okay? The first time, yeah, exactly. This poor man. This poor, I've seen your ballots, okay? This guy voted for Ted Cruz one time. He's done some damage to the fabric of our democracy, but he's still a good guy, and he's working on it. Can you imagine being held accountable? I'll tell you, the first time I was allowed to vote in the general election was 2004. I'm an old man. 2004 was the first time they let me at the polls. Boy, was I ready to flex my democracy. I was like, let's go. Who we got? Oh man, 2004, we had the privilege. We have the honor of being able to vote for two stellar options. Mr. John F. Kerry. Yeah, you heard me right. Kerry, not Kennedy, okay? John F. Kerry. My best impression of him is moi. Gen Z, if I showed you a picture of John F. Kerry, you'd be like, who is that car salesman? I have no idea who that guy is. Does he replace AC units? What does he do? John F. Kerry was the Democratic candidate of 2004, and it was him up against the one, the only, the irreplaceable George W. Bush. Okay? Yeah. It was literally the worst election aside from all the ones that came after it. It was really, really bad. Well, that's just how elections are. You never get good options. You get the options who make you want to vomit the least. You know what I mean? You pick who makes you vomit the least. And if you get juiced for a candidate, there's something wrong with you. I'm sorry. Politicians are wired to, in some shape or form, manipulate you and lie you, even the good ones. So if you get excited about a politician, I'm happy for you, but go to a therapist. Now that was who was on the ballot in 2004, okay? But America, like you're right, it's about who the population votes for. America, we're a strong country, we're a wise country, we're a moral country. Don't look it up. But we saw those options, all the options in 2004, and collectively we came together and we did the right thing. We said enough is enough, 4 more years of the W. We saw the economy tanking, heading towards a recession rapidly. We saw war in the Middle East. We saw, 9/11. We're like, fuck it, let's see what happens. Just 4 more years. We voted for him a second time. Well, technically a first. But we wanted 8 years of back-to-back Bush. Now, I don't know if you know about the W. Okay, but he did not do great, okay? In fact, he did some bad. If you don't know about the bad things that W did, make some friends from Iraq, okay? They will make it very clear to you. Be ready for some cursing, okay? Because he messed up Iraq. For real, man. Like, people from Iraq, they hate the W, they hate his dad, they hate the whole Bush dynasty, okay? They've even banned bushes in their yards, okay? It's only trees and grass in Iraq, no bushes, okay? They're all clean shaven down there. They hate the Bush. Can you imagine? I know this is tough for mainstream Americans, but can you imagine that Iraq somehow got the capability to invade America? Perhaps with the help of a local proxy. I won't name any names. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I ran from that option. Let's say They got together the military capability, but they could only afford to invade one state. So they choose Wisconsin. Okay? Yeah. So they touch down in Wisconsin, start bombing indiscriminately, cheese everywhere. Okay? They're blocking aid via Lake Michigan, no deep dish getting in. Right? And they're just targeting poor, innocent Wisconsinians. Like, oh my gosh, golly, like everywhere you go. And I happen to be in Kenosha, Wisconsin that night with my shit luck. I'm performing at the Chuckle House Kenosha, the nation's worst comedy club, at the worst time. And the Iraqis touch down to invade. And I'm no hero. I'm gonna run. I'm not gonna defend you, okay? I'm gonna go home to my 17 guns. I'm gonna run from the Iraqis. I'm gonna run down an alleyway, and they're gonna chase me. And I'm gonna run, and I'm gonna run, until I hit a dead end. And I'm just gonna have to turn and face them. And when I have to turn and face them, all I'm gonna be able to say is, why? Why? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you wreaking this carnage on me and all of my people? We did not do anything to you. Why are you doing this to us? And then they're just like, because you voted for George W. Bush in 2004. Like, what the Bush? Like, you're still thinking about that? And I'm like, no, I didn't vote for George W. Bush. I voted for independent candidate Ralph Nader. And they're like, yes, but everybody knows a vote for Nader is a vote for Bush. Like, come on, man. And there's just further proof that no matter where it is, the two-party system sucks ass. You are literally spitting out straight-up AIPAC talking points. You don't think so?
I think she's making a lot of really good ones.
Whoa! Apparently they come in AIPAC.
Not all introduced talking points.
I agree. Yes.
There are also talking points. I appreciate she has the courage to speak up.
Yeah.
It's very complicated and it shouldn't be minimized and patronized to people that are really struggling with the important issues that you're taking to exactly.
I think we all agree on that. I think we all 100% agree. Yes, that's true as well. But this is what I don't understand. See, sir, this is why I'm talking, because if you agree with that? The Arabs and Muslims are atrocious. Do you agree with that part? All right. Guys, listen. No. Everybody stop. Everybody, quiet. This is my show. Listen, first of all, I respect you guys for coming to the show and sitting in the front row. Obviously, you don't agree with the things that I'm saying. That's fine. I don't. Yeah.
I'm actually pro-Palestine.
Do you guys? Okay. Hey, well, nice to meet you. Okay, so you brought her to kind of to get a little like a different.
No idea, but she's still my friend.
That's awesome. Okay, hey, well, you find out a lot about your friends when you come to the comedy show, right? Yeah. We learn things that we never knew, you know. Okay. You have to understand, okay? We don't have to agree on everything. The reason why I made an issue about it is because when you heckle or when you say something in the middle of the joke, it becomes different jurisdiction. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we were just having a conversation on the street and it's like, I don't know you, you don't know me, it's like, obviously we're not gonna agree on the same things, you know what I mean? But when I'm in the middle of like constructing and building a narrative and it's interrupted with a counterpoint, which is fair, which is fine, but not at the comedy show, right? We can do it in a DM exchange, we can do it for that reason, when we're at the show, it is under my jurisdiction. You could say that you are all under my jurisdiction. And as an occupier, it is my duty, specified under international law, to take care of you. Okay? And so that's why, with love, I say all of these things, because I think you're great. I think that you do strive for balance, and I think that you do want to see the nuance and look in the perspective. But I think that you also were saying a lot of things that people here who know a lot about the situation and are clearly biased towards Palestine have heard these sound bites used perpetually to defend the stripping of human rights of an entire population of people. Please, I speak what I think is justice. Everybody has their own opinion of justice. I speak on what I think is justice. By the way, don't call me a social justice warrior. Please, don't call me a social justice warrior. I prefer social justice jihadi. It's fitting because I intend to take myself out in the process. I have sacrificed my show. What? It's hard being a social justice jihadi. You only get one shot.
Thank you so much, San Diego. I love you.